couple of weeks ago, I was praying through the daily readings for Mass, and it was the story of Herod and John the Baptist. Herod has John arrested because he's upset with John for calling him out on the fact that he had married his brother's divorced wife, which was against Jewish law. And Herod didn't really like what John was doing, so he wanted to put him to death, but he was afraid of doing that because of how the people would react, because they saw John as a prophet. And so he just put him in jail. Some time went on, and the daughter of Herodias, his wife, danced in such a way that Herod promised her anything she would want, anything that she asked for. But he didn't expect what she was going to ask for. She went to her mother, and her mother said, "Ask him for the head of John the Baptist on a platter." And of course, he was caught in a quandary because he had made this promise and he was afraid of how to respond. He was concerned about how the people who were at the dance might react if he said no, because he had made this promise: "I'll give you anything you want." Ultimately, he did it. And he did it basically out of concern of how others might see him. As we look at Herod's actions in all of this, through it all, Herod is not concerned with right or wrong. Herod is only concerned with how others might perceive him, how others might react towards him. His whole life was caught up in being concerned about the views of others. And when that happens, it becomes a huge problem. Many times it will bring us to do things that are just simply wrong so that we can make others happy. As Christians, we have to recognize the importance that our choices are, and that our choices are always supposed to be based on one decision and one decision only. How would God have us act in this moment? What is the right and what is the wrong? And it is based on the reality that there is objective truth. There is always a right and always a wrong. And it doesn't matter what we may have said. It doesn't matter how people might see us. It doesn't matter how upset people might get with us. As Christians, we always have to choose to do the right thing. And yet, Jesus warned us. He said, "If you follow me, you will be persecuted. You will be attacked. The world will come to hate you because it hates me." The world really does not like the teachings of Jesus. Oh, they'll take the bumper sticker, love God, love neighbor, do to others as you would have them do to you. The bumper sticker faith. That doesn't really call us in any way to have to make hard decisions. As Christians, we cannot adhere to a bumper sticker faith. We have to take on the hard responsibility of following Christ. And that means at times challenging people. We have to recognize Jesus didn't end up on the cross because he simply told people to love God and neighbor. He ended up on the cross because he challenged the perceptions of people's lives, and they did not like it. He ended up on the cross because Jesus refused to compromise. There was one truth, one reality, and he proclaimed that, no matter the cost. And Jesus is our example of how it means to truly embrace and live out a Christian life. Now, obviously, as we challenge people, it always has to be done with respect, dignity, a deep and abiding sense of love, and it must always be about what Christ would have us do, not what we think we should do. It's not always easy. Herod is the example of what happens when we choose to be more concerned about what others may think. Jesus is the example for what happens when we choose to do what God wants us to do. Yes, there is some suffering at times by doing that, but there's also the resurrection. May we choose to follow the example of Jesus and be more concerned about God than people. God bless.